So there's been a lot of talk about manifesting. We hear that word a lot. And I think we wanted to kind of take this episode to kind of dig into what we think and feel about manifesting and what that feels and kind of resonates within us and what we're doing in our journey here on this planet at this
Planet
moment.
Earth 661.
Is that the area code of 661?
No, it's the Marvel Comics. If you know, you know.
Oh, sorry.
Multiverse.
So manifestation, what does that mean? What do you think it means? I think there's a lot of woo-woo feels about it where it's like, oh, that's just the whatever. But I think there is something to it. I do believe that there's definitely something to it.
Well, I think there's a little bit of both. I like to break it down into science and spirituality because sometimes your brain can't wrap around one handle the other. So sometimes marrying the two is easier to understand and to like create a plan and a process.
So let's talk about not the science thought process first, because I think that's more, I like the science piece, but I think the other part is more common of like what people think and feel about it.
Like manifestation, because it's such a buzzword.
Right.
So like The Secret, I'm just going to think of my red Ferrari and someone's going to pull up into the driveway with it. Well, doesn't work.
Right. The Secret, the law of attraction is like the whole, right?
And it does to a point, but there's extra steps. And I think the spiritual community has come out and said like, the spirit is great. The secret is great. It's just there's extra steps that you have to do. Like you have to take action because you are the person doing the thing, right? And we forget about the inspired action, and that's huge.
Yep. So let's break it down. Let's take one step back just for fun. Manifestation, what does that actually mean?
To me?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God, I've never actually verbalized it this way. It is taking all of my goals, creating the intention, putting it out to the universe, getting divine communication back about what I'm supposed to do, which is the inspired action. And then I do the thing with non-attachment to the outcome of any of it. And then it just shows up. Or it doesn't. And either which way, I'm okay with it.
Right. And I think that you've been really good. It's been fun to watch you manifest the crap out of a lot of things in the past like year or 2 years, 3 years. I don't even know. A couple years, really.
Yeah.
Have been really more prominent than prior to. For me, I'm still kind of working through those things, but I think I've had a lot of things that have been in my way almost. And I kind of needed to get rid of the work thing for a little bit to kind of work through and peel back some of that. Yeah. Like I've walked through those muck pieces and kind of try to pull myself together and try to find some grounding and I'm still trying to figure out what I actually want. I think I struggle with that. I think is like, what do I really want to manifest? Like, I know I want to manifest peace and just simplicity in life. Like, that's the feeling I want, is just to be able to like do what I want to do, feel how I want to feel, but in a calm level and not be stressing about how I'm going to pay my bills, how am I going to do this, how am I going to do, like, all of that will come the right way in the right time.
So spoiler alert, you're all master manifestors, but what you were manifesting before was from a place of like unhealed trauma.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
Sure.
you manifest your life all day long to the level of your subconscious and your trauma and your wounds, right? So that relationship that never changes. I don't know why I keep dating this guy. That job, that boss that you always get. I don't know. I'm like, this is the same boss you've had the last 3 times, right? It's in reflection to the wounds that you need to heal. So what happened for you is that you all of a sudden shifted and said, I no longer want to do this. So then there is a little bit of a disconnect because the universe has momentum of you manifesting the old, and you're like, I just put the brakes on it, and you're trying to create momentum. You're trying to figure out what you want. Now this is a new version of you, what you want, and then you have to create momentum around that. And you also have to create belief, because then we're stuck in the middle. So the conscious mind is like, yes, I want peace. I would like to live a life of abundance and joy. And the subconscious is like, I'm still trying to keep you safe at this place of decades of
the fight,
decades of just, this is what you've been doing. You're going to put pause. You can't do that. It has to slow down so that you can ramp this up. So there's that frustration, which we've talked about, where you're like, I hate this.
I hate it all.
Yeah. So does that make sense?
Yeah, actually that does. I'm trying to picture, like, there's a visual in my brain that I'm trying to like think of, like what actually in nature, whatever, in just the real world of like what that visual is, of like something that's slowing down while something is still speeding, like trying to speed up, but this is in the way, like it's like, and it's like I'm in between at this moment, stuck trying to like.
Abraham Hicks talks about that, how it's like two trains trying to pull each side.
Oh, even that way. I like it that way, even.
Like, because your subconscious is going one way and your consciousness is going the other. So you're just in this one little spot until you quiet one engine down so you can make momentum the other way.
It's like time to shut the old train down.
Yeah.
Like turn the train off.
Yeah, and that's like clearing limiting beliefs and identifying and processing and integrating feelings, all the things that you think make you feel horrible, but it's actually just the fear of like doing the process of it.
Yeah, because it's hard work.
Well, that's just a limiting belief.
So hard.
That's just a belief that you have. What if it was fun work? Because on the other side,
there is some fun to it.
There is some fun to it. Because when you get really good at it, you're like, what's the lesson I need to learn? Well, let's process and integrate these feelings, because the struggle is in living the past version of you.
Yeah.
Right?
That is an interesting comment, because I think about that often, of who I was to where I am now, and who I was then. To the core, I'm still the same person, but I'm not at the same time. And I have this like weird, like brain, like foggy, fun, dream, like fight of old me and new me, and be like, yeah, who's going to win? And I know who's going to win. It's the new me. Sorry, bug. What's up, yo?
There's a wild animal flying around our heads.
Welcome to nature. But I do think about that, like, people from my past don't necessarily know who I am currently. They know who I am, but they don't know who I am.
But wait, why are you fighting yourself?
All right, we're going to pause on that.
To be continued.
There might be a different like side episode of not being recorded kind of thing.
Right. That's a therapy session after this session. And I think it's a good point, because now you've created judgment and shame around yourself and your old version, who your old version is a beautiful creation of all of you that got you to where you needed to be then to be this version. So why are we not hugging every aspect of who we are through this entire journey, instead of shaming and judging and creating separation and fighting with ourselves? Because when you have peace within yourself, you have peace. That's where you get the joy and the peace on the outside. Your initial intention.
Yeah. All right.
Episode over. Oh, wait, we were talking about manifesting.
Totally something different. Sorry about that. But it's to the point of like being able to really truly manifest and feel like comfortable in manifestation. I think you do have to like heal some of that.
Yes.
You have to heal some of that old stuff and those old beliefs and the stuff that is blocking the new, and believing that this is what you can be and this is what you can do, because that's always going to creep back in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're always manifesting. You're just manifesting at the level of your healed self.
I think that is the best. I want to like make sure that we pull that.
Good thing
Because
we're
I think
recording
that
this.
we are.
Good thing.
Okay. I do like that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's a good
Because
statement.
then you don't even know, like, what I want now is what I didn't even realize I wanted 6 months ago versus a year, right?
Right.
So,
Which
like,
goes into like we're different people. Every minute we're a different person,
mm-hmm.
if you think about it.
Yes.
And that goes into like the whole space and time,
Well, if you're jumping time with
science,
now we get
quantum
crazy.
physics, and all that stuff, which is
If you pick a timeline and it's your highest self at that moment, like, I don't even see people anymore that I used to see yesterday. I'm like, oh, it's because they're not on this timeline. It's the weirdest thing.
or is it because they're just not in your space in that moment that day? I'm being a little bit fresh.
No, I think
But you know what I mean? But do you hear what I'm saying?
long term. Like, I am not in the energetic frequency. I think they just don't exist in this. How do I say this? They exist in this timeline, but in a vibration that is no longer comparable to mine. Because if this is just a simulation and this is my reality, they don't exist here technically. They're just a figment of my imagination. This is me getting kind of very woo-woo-y.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
But should we go back into manifestation?
Yes. So we will revert back to manifesting, because I manifested that, because that's what I want in my life, is this new version of me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So as we're moving into like new year, 2025 here, right? And thinking of things like New Year's resolutions. Every year I stopped making them, to be honest, because I don't feel like I need a date to tell me when to do something to better my life. I did stop doing that a long time ago. I also felt that it was just, I don't want to jump on that bandwagon. I mean, I tried maybe when I was younger, and then I was like, this is dumb. I don't want to do this. Like, I just do it the way I want to do it because that's just who I am anyway. But a lot of people do take that time to like reset and let's start anew on this. As we're going into 2025, there's got to be some cool ways that we can maybe help others. I almost called you the team again. Remember the other episode? I wanted to use the team for all of our watchers. Anyway, how can we help the team manifest and take some activities or do some sort of activities or actions to help them set some goals and set some things that might be helpful for them?
Number one is, what are you currently manifesting? So look around: relationships, job, lifestyle, living situation, health, your health of your body, your mind, your soul. And do you like it? Because you're manifesting that consciously, or like if you know it or not. And then what do you want to change? That's the first thing I would say.
So getting clear on what is happening now and what your life looks like now and what you might want it to be.
Right. And that's a hard conversation because some people, you're like, again, why do I keep dating this person? You're the problem. It's you, in a nice way.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that kind of relationship, it's not a different person that you date. It's you change who you are on the inside to then
reflect what you want
that out to who you are. And that's not just a romantic relationship, that's friends. So if you're like, why are all my friends so negative? That's what you're vibing with. That job, if you don't enjoy your job, but almost like, well, what kind of job do you want? Who are you? What do you enjoy doing? So it can be very playful. It may be kind of a big shock at first because you're like, oh, you have to take responsibility for what you've manifested this far. But then that's a huge opportunity to learn and grow. And then you can have anything that you want because now you know the difference.
I like that.
Yeah.
So getting clear
On what you're doing. It's like when I go to the gym and I'm like, why did I gain 5 pounds? And it's not muscle. It's like, oh, I may have eaten a frozen pizza and then I ate cake. And then I did eat a lot of bread and butter. So I'm pretty sure I was in the 3,000 calorie a day for like 3 weeks.
And I find it funny when you talk about this because your food journal, because you wouldn't think that that's something that like you do, but you do. Like I've watched you eat garbage, just pure garbage. And I laugh because I'm like,
Oh,
you're going to feel like crap. And you know, you're going to feel like crap, but it's so fun to watch you do that.
I didn't. I don't know. Literally this morning I got a bacon, egg, and cheese. I didn't do bacon. I did like this whole thing and I was like, give me some of that lemon.
Morning.
Of course. And I'm like, I can only have 1,900 calories today because this is what I'm trying to do.
Those calories are gone now.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's all math.
No.
But that's the thing. I do it to myself. I know these things. I have an intention. Okay, well, then why am I working out so hard, right? If I'm blowing it on cupcakes and chicken palm. Listen, I'm living my best life. Leave me alone. It's called moderation. That's it. Then I was just like, I have to move my body a little bit more because I don't have the lifestyle that I used to. Because I used to have a dog walking business, so all I did was move my body like 20,000 steps a day, so I could eat anything. And technically, I shouldn't say I do eat whatever I want.
You do.
I have no problem with that. I just then have intention. Okay, maybe today you don't hit 3,000 calories because you are not. Because yesterday, athlete. Because yesterday was 4,000 calories. So, but then I can also do that,
right?
And then I tell my body to metabolize at its highest capability and just process those calories out if they aren't going to like vital organs. I like legit do that. Whatever.
Whatever.
I wore my prom dress as a Halloween costume. And that was decades ago. So I can still fit into my prom dress from...
Correct. All right. So back to getting clear on what you want or what you've done.
What you're having for food for the new year.
What would be like an additional like action then? So here I know the stuff that I've done in the past. This is where I am. This is who I am right now. This is maybe what I would like to see differently. And then how do I continue moving into this manifestation goal setting for the new year?
Like what you would do next. I'm going to just say it, and people probably hate this, but you got to meditate. And by meditation, I think it's just quieting the mind. Putting that ego in a separate little box outside of your head and just sitting and being still.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Because that's hard. That's where all the messages come through. But why is it so hard?
I don't know why it's because my mind, for me, my mind doesn't shut the F up. It doesn't shut up.
Right. So you have to practice it.
And I try.
And you just gotta keep trying.
That's all. I know.
That's all it is.
I know. There are other forms of meditation too. I think that would be a fun additional session that we can do at some point in time. Like maybe we can talk about that.
Meditation or
there's
yeah.
Like just thinking through there's other ways of meditating and getting into a quieter or calmer space that maybe we can expand on that in a different episode, a little short episode.
Right. Anything that would get you, and by meditation, maybe I should say anything that will get you into your body and out of your head. So in the sauna, because you're in your body, right?
So, sorry, I was going to just say, like, so thinking through, I have my goals, I have an idea of who I am, how I've gotten here, what I've done. where I kind of want to go. Now I know these two things, or I have a better idea of these two things. I'm going to go ahead and quiet myself, set some time and quiet and keep that as a practice, right? That should be an everyday practice for us anyway. Um, but out of that meditation, what am I doing? Like, I always feel like I have to meditate to like, I'm trying to meditate to understand A, B, and C. And I know that that's not the point of it. It's just to sometimes just shut up for a second. Like, shut up, head. Just shut up. Because my brain goes all over the place and I start thinking of the rocks in the yard and why there's so many rocks in the yard. Legit just picked up like 70 rocks yesterday. I'm like, why are there so many rocks in my yard? But I start, even with this podcast that I just said that, like, what, there was no reason for me to talk about that. But so, like, meditation, what am I doing in the meditation, or what am I expecting out of that meditation to get me to manifestation?
Right. Well, I'm going to psychoanalyze that you for one hot second. I am also not a psychotherapist. This is just what I am picking up on, what she's putting down. Your brain is trying to avoid stillness because it's not safe and you are trying to control.
Yeah, but always, like,
Always.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think the whole purpose of to just stilling the mind is to just create that space that you can have the control, or know that you have the control of just dropping into your body, creating stillness and creating space. Because then from that calmed, rest and digest, your parasympathetic nervous system is kicked in, you're in executive brain function because you're not in fight or flight. That's what you're trying to do.
Yep.
You can kind of then be guided and or have those thoughts about why do I keep, picking this as a boss? Why do I keep picking this job? And then from that safe space, you can see the belief systems that you have about yourself. So then now these core limiting beliefs are what make you manifest this external world. So then it's going one by one, figuring out what those belief systems are. Do you believe it, and how you can let go of them and think differently. Right.
Right. So it's not necessarily, so here's the difference between, so what we're talking about in this manifestation space, it's not necessarily, let me back up. Manifestation and then setting resolution goals is totally different, because resolution is, I feel New Year comes, hey, I want to change this and I want to do this. And it's like, I'm going to write these down and boom, I'm going to just do them. And then you lose them. And it's not about that.
Do you know why those don't work?
Well, go ahead and share.
Because it's a habit and you didn't create neuroplasticity in your brain. So then that's the science of it.
Which is where I find, like, I was going to kind of go into and jump into like where manifestation is. You are working through those layers of breaking the old habits and breaking the old thought process and the old patterns to be able to build out the new ones.
Right. Right. So,
right.
From a spiritual perspective, it's these aha moments and this enlightenment of, oh my God, I didn't know I was doing that. And then you're choosing to stop and you're going into your wounded child and you're doing all of this imagery and healing yourself. From a scientific brain standpoint, it's when you think a thought, there's a chemical, electrical reaction that happens in your brain, and it's neuroplasticity. So then to like stop that, you can't think that thought anymore. And you have to train your brain to create a new pathway. That takes time. And so you might think that like, I'm going to go to the gym every day, New Year's resolution. I'm going to, eat it better. I'm going to, take a walk every morning. And it only works for a couple of days because you haven't really built that neuroplasticity to make it normal, which then is embedded in your subconscious. So then you just do it every day. So now, if you have a limiting belief of I'm not worthy to have a fantastic partner, to have a great job, things like that, then you are going to keep producing that in your reality. When you heal that and then you tell yourself a different story is, no, I can have this job because I am very qualified, I'm smart, I can have this loving partner because I'm worthy of it. And you keep doing it and saying it and believing it, it's embedded into the subconscious. You've created the neuroplasticity. And then it's like, oh yeah, of course I got this job. Of course I have this partner. Do you see the different now? Yeah. It's different. It takes time because you have gray matter in your brain and you're literally creating new neural pathways.
Yeah.
And I think I read a book, and it's not for habits to be created. It doesn't necessarily like take 21 days. It just takes repetition and consistency to really embed it in there. So I don't think there's a defined amount of time. Like if I do this every day,
which makes sense,
which is good. I mean, because we have a calendar that we kind of like 7 days a week, 30 something days a month. It helps. But I think it's like if you did it so many different times, like what we have 60,000 thoughts a day,
at least,
right? So for women, so if half of those or 3/4 of those are negative, what the heck are you doing? No wonder why 3D is negative. But if you could just start filtering those out and creating a positive or not thinking the negative, then you're ahead of the game.
Love it.
Because now all of your thoughts will be pretty positive if you start changing all of that.
Love that.
Because then you think differently.
Yeah.
Now you're a positive person. Cool. What are you thinking?
Pausing for a second. So for 2025, what we're kind of looking at, I would love to hear what you're kind of thinking through for 2025 for yourself. I know for me, before you start sharing your thoughts on what you want to manifest, I think I still am in that process of looking at my limiting beliefs and picking through and taking the time to just quiet the mind. That is something that I know that I need to work on and that I want to work on, because I do feel better when I continue to do that. And my manifestation goals of 2025, maybe that's what we can call it, is really trying to find a little bit more comfort and peace in what I'm doing that feels uncomfortable right now. Because there are a lot of things that I'm doing, that I've been doing this past year, that are breaking all of the old habits. And it feels bananas and also like super exciting and scary and fun and all of those words at the same time. And I want to continue to do that. And I think that that's kind of what I'm looking forward to 2025. But I'm also like thinking those will evolve too, right? Like that's my thought process right now. I'm going to be a different person in an hour from now. Maybe I want something different.
Yeah.
And I think that that's okay too. What about you?
Some of the top things that I am manifesting for 2025 would be work from home, right? That just means freedom of having an abundance of money. So however that looks, but I would like to live on the beach because it's freezing in New England. And the ocean is calling me, and it's been calling me for a while. So I think that's something that I'm been envisioning, and I have it on my phone as that's like my screensaver. So I think of like outside my windows, I'm looking at the beach. I do have a picture of outdoor patio furniture with the beach in the background in my kitchen. So when I drink my coffee, that's what I look at. So then now I'm creating this subconscious this neuroplasticity in my brain that my subconscious thinks that that's normal. So then my reality will figure out a way to make that happen, right? So I'd like to live at the beach. What else am I manifesting for 2025? Financial abundance, which is financial freedom. I just say more money than I can spend, because what I would really like to do is take care of my family, take care of the world, be able to have freedom to do whatever I want and to share it with as many people as I possibly can. And that can be a whole nother conversation, because scarcity mindset and people's beliefs around money, there's so many beliefs around that, right? And it's, some people might think I'm selfish to have more money than to want more money. But what I do with that money and what I think of the vibration of the money is very different than, could be mainstream, right? What you might have in your mind. And if you are being triggered by me saying this, you should look at yourself in the mirror and then wonder what your belief systems are around money. So, right. If anything that we say triggers you, us, or anyone else in the world, this is a great time for you to be like, why do I feel that way? Why am I having this reaction? And I think lastly, for 2025, what I'm manifesting. I don't know.
It'll come.
Yeah.
So I know.
What?
Because I know.
Right.
You have stuff that's been in the works already.
Right.
And it'll probably be coming to fruition.
Right. So actually, I'm going to say, lastly, my thing that I'm manifesting for 2025 that's actually been in the works, and it's like almost probably by the day that we launch this podcast, because currently we are in October, and this is going to go live potentially in January 2025, right? I am manifesting my romantic partner and my children. So it'll be really cool to see when you see this video what has happened in my life in the next 2 months, because I've been manifesting this for a while, and I'll be really interested to see this when this goes live.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
So
with that, we would love to hear what you are thinking from a resolution standpoint, manifestation standpoint, whatever you feel like sharing. We would love to hear that. Feel free to share things and thoughts in the comments. You can reach out to us individually, even if you want, if it's more comfortable for you. More than happy to connect. Super excited to just start this new year with you all and continue on our journey of the Earth and Ether podcast. We'll see you soon. Love ya.
bye.